Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Accent Training Podcast. My name is Pat. I'm your personal American accent coach, and I got a great episode for you today, folks. Today's episode follows up from episode number 191, our previous episode, where I taught you the sounds E, as in eat, it, these, this. Now, if you haven't heard that one yet, I highly recommend that you do give it a listen because it's going to help you get the maximum results from today's topic. Because today's topic is going to involve both of those sounds, plus one more. That's right, we're going to add in one more position. I broke this into 2 episodes so that this information would be easier to digest. But the truth is, if you want to master the I and E sounds, then you need to understand 3 different positions, 3 different sounds, because there's one that folks will often mix up. Tell me if you hear the difference between these 3 vowels here. E, eh. Listen to that again. E, Maybe you can hear the difference there, but you're not quite sure what it is. You've gotten good at hearing E and by now, but this third one, How is that one changing things up? Well, let me explain. First, I want you to make the E sound with me. E. Notice what your mouth is doing, how you articulate the sound. Your teeth are close together. The back of your tongue is making pressure on your top teeth, and the front of your tongue is kind of out of the way. E. No matter how much pressure you make between the back of your tongue and the top teeth, that vowel sound pretty much stays the same. E, as long as you are making pressure. Now, when we release that pressure, and we have your teeth still close together, tongue is between the top and bottom teeth, touching both, but not making pressure on the top teeth. We get this distinct sound. E, lots of pressure. No pressure. The third position drops the jaw and pulls the back of your tongue a little bit lower. So the back of your tongue isn't going to be touching your top teeth anymore. Your jaw drops down, your mouth opens a little. E, Listen to those closely one more time and repeat each after me. This is going to help train your ears and your muscles to produce this sound later on in a real life situation. E, Once again, teeth close together, lots of pressure between your tongue and teeth. E. Number 2, teeth close together, but no pressure between your tongue and teeth. And then lowering your jaw. E. Now the trouble is, if short I does not exist in your native language, you might not hear the difference very clearly between and And this is an issue. This is an issue because if you mix up and you won't be able to say the words, this is an issue. You'll say more, this is an issue. This is an issue. This is an issue. This is an issue. One of them will connect with an American audience, one of them will not. So, let's do a quick little exercise for you to feel the difference between these words. E, I, Repeat these sets of minimal difference words after me. Each, itch, etch. Read, rid, red. Deed, did, dead. Teen, tin, ten. Feel, fill, fell. Are you starting to feel the difference between those I and sounds? I hope so. But if not, I've got an exercise I want to do with you here. I'm going to read out 5 short phrases. Some of these phrases are going to have the sound I. Some of them are going to have the sound eh. I want you to listen closely and identify which I'm using. Let's get started, shall we? A little issue. A little issue. What did you hear? I or eh? That was an I sound. Very good. Next. The next steps. The next steps. Did you hear I or eh? That was an eh sound, my friend. That was an eh. Next. That went well. That went well. Did you hear an I? That went well? Or an eh? That went well. That was an eh sound. That is correct. Eh. Next. Really big. Really big. Did you hear an I or an eh? That was an I. Really big. Really big. And the final. Let me in. Let me in. Did you hear an I or an eh? Let me in. Both. That one had both. That one also had the E sound. Did you notice? Let me in. Let me in. So what do you get when you listen closely to the intricate workings of a language and you repeat them? Well, you get improved listening skills. That means better comprehension. Those of you who are listening right now and just had something click where it became clear for you that there was a distinction between E, I, and E that you didn't notice 20 minutes ago, have just seen a significant improvement in your language abilities with that one change alone. You can now hear sounds that don't exist in your native language. That's huge. That actually puts you way ahead of the competition when it comes to comprehension of spoken English, especially with Americans. But what comes next? How do you make this something that you can use at any time in your spoken life? Well, let me tell you. There are two paths forward. One of them you're currently on, and the other one may be a good option. Number one is through trial and error, hoping that you can someday fix the problem. And spending a lot of time watching videos about the execution of this sound, but maybe not developing actual useful habits, simply because the training won't be structured. This means trying again and again and still not really understanding what you're doing wrong. A lot of those videos are just going to give you generic suggestions. The risk here is that you may lose your passion and give up altogether. However, there is an alternative path, my friend. You can work with an expert. Specifically, you can work with me. I've helped hundreds of students from all levels, all languages, not only develop the I sound, but learn all of the sounds of the American accent. Learn to listen for them and use them with the correct intonational patterns. Working with me as a coach using my method, you learn the fundamental secrets to make progress in the American accent without constantly relying on me for guidance. That means that you don't have to take classes forever. There is an end date. And when that end date comes, you'll know it because you'll feel ready. You'll feel confident with the sound of your spoken English, and you'll find that I'll do so good of a job that you'll have to fire me because you won't need me anymore. So if you want to try on your own, go right ahead. All you got to do is look up Short I on YouTube, and you'll find a lot to work with. Hundreds and hundreds of videos of generic short I words and phrases, and maybe the odd idiomatic expression. I want you to check it out. I want you to because, number one, it's a free resource, and you will learn some valuable things there. But number two, you're going to very quickly find that while you are learning valuable things and you're starting to hear some good sounds with some good words, it isn't adapting into your life in the way that you want it to. And then you're going to think to yourself, I better give Pat a call. I better fill out that application. However, for those of you who are ready to take that step now, check out the description of this episode. I'm leaving a link to the application there. Check it out, open the link, fill it out. We'll get in touch and see how I can help you. If it sounds like you and I are a good fit to work together, we'll get started right away. If not, you will still come out of that call with better English, better understanding of the path forward, and in fact, I will provide for you the resources and the roadmap to move forward, even if we don't start working together. So if that sounds like a plan to you, click the link in the description, fill out that application, and together you and I will determine the ideal path for success, learning and adapting the American accent. For now, I've got to get going. Lunch is ready, and I do feel that I've worked hard enough today to have earned a hot plate of something delicious. So thank you once again for listening to the Accent Training Podcast. Make sure that you are subscribed, my friend, and have a good one.